Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to explore a thought experiment that is, well, it's pretty terrifying, but also incredibly fascinating. We're looking at a scenario that literally challenges everything we know about Earth, the life on it, and, yeah, our very own survival. So let's just plunge right into this mystery. I want you to really visualize this with me for a second. Imagine the catastrophic reality of a completely waterless Earth. It's kind of hard to picture, right? Because water is so fundamental to our existence. But actively visualizing this void helps us truly grasp those invisible systems that keep our planet habitable. Okay, to really wrap our heads around this, we have to recognize that water currently covers about 71% of our planet's surface. So removing it leaves a massive, terrifying void. We're not just talking about losing our favorite beaches here. We're talking about ripping away the defining feature of our entire world. Section 1. A world without water. The hidden landscape exposed. If all that water suddenly vanished, the immediate visual transformation of our blue planet would be absolutely jarring. Instead of beautiful blue horizons, you'd be staring out at these vast hostile plains of mud and salt deposits. Towering seamounts and ancient continental shelves would suddenly just jut into the sky. You'd see the mid-ocean ridges, which is actually the longest mountain system on Earth, fully exposed to the air, plunging all the way down into the terrifying depths of the Mariana Trench. It would look like a totally alien landscape, right here at home. Moving on to Section 2, the climate collapse, breaking the Earth's thermostat. To understand why this is so bad, you gotta think about the geologic carbon cycle. It's this massive, water-driven process that exchanges carbon between the atmosphere and Earth's interior over millions of years. Basically, volcanoes emit carbon dioxide, rain dissolves it, runoff carries it into the ocean, where it sinks to the bottom, and eventually, plate tectonics resurface it. It's like a giant planetary thermostat. But without oceans to act as that massive heat and carbon sink, this entire temperature-stabilizing system completely breaks down. And to put that into perspective, recent astrobiology research shows that planets need a minimum of 20 to 50% of Earth's ocean water just to maintain this cycle. Without enough water for rainfall, carbon removal literally stops. Volcanic emissions would just keep building up, and a runaway greenhouse effect would basically, well, boil the planet. Section 3. The Cradle of Life. Our Evolutionary Origins. To understand the true biological cost of a waterless world, we have to look hundreds of millions of years into the past. For billions of years, life was just microscopic. But around 570 million years ago, during the Ediacaran period, complex life, some up to a meter long, finally sprang into existence. And what's super fascinating is that this monumental evolutionary leap happened exclusively in the deep ocean. And there's a brilliant reason why it happened there. Shallow waters experience these wild, crazy seasonal temperature swings, up to 10 degrees Celsius. Back then, atmospheric oxygen was incredibly low, so early animals just couldn't afford the energy to cope with that kind of stress. The deep ocean, though, it provided a highly stable refuge, with temperatures varying by less than 1 degree. That stability is exactly what allowed those early, soft-bodied animals to survive and efficiently use their very limited oxygen supplies. So, the crucial takeaway here is that without the ocean, we don't just lose our evolutionary birthplace. We lose the marine plants and phytoplankton that produce a massive portion of the oxygen we breathe every single day. Now, the oxygen wouldn't vanish instantly, but the long-term decline would be absolutely catastrophic for any surviving life. Section 4. The End of Civilization, the Domino Effect. Bringing this cosmic scale back down to human stakes, the loss of oceans guarantees the rapid, utter collapse of our modern world. It triggers a terrifying chain reaction. First off, marine ecosystems die immediately. Without ocean evaporation to form clouds, the global water cycle just collapses. Freshwater reservoirs dry up, severe worldwide droughts take over, and global agriculture fails completely. Even the complex shipping and trade routes that connect our modern world would instantly shatter into pieces. Because, you see, water has a remarkably high heat capacity, meaning it absorbs and releases heat slowly. Without this planetary heat buffer, a dry Earth would experience scorching, unbearable days and freezing, totally hostile nights. The mild climates we rely on would be completely replaced by extreme, unlivable temperature swings. Section 5. Lessons from Dead Planets, Looking to Venus and Mars. The crazy thing is, we don't even have to guess what this dystopian future looks like because we have terrifying examples right next door in our solar system. Look at Mars, for instance. It shows us the barren reality of a planet that lost its magnetic field. Without it, solar winds gradually stripped away the Martian atmosphere, leaving behind nothing but ancient, dry riverbeds where liquid water actually once flowed.
And then there's Venus. What's really interesting here is that Venus likely started out with water, just like Earth. But because it was just slightly closer to the sun, a broken carbon cycle led to runaway warming. Today, standing on the surface of Venus would feel like being crushed by the weight of 10 blue whales, with temperatures rivaling a wood-fired pizza oven. It is literally the ultimate cautionary tale of an arid, oceanless world.
And that brings us to our own chances of survival. That number is 0. 0%. That is exactly how much chance human civilization would have of surviving on an arid, ocean-depleted world. We are entirely 100% dependent on the interconnected systems driven by our oceans.
Section 6. The future of our blue planet, protecting the water we have. Now, obviously, our oceans aren't going to just vanish overnight, but this extreme thought experiment really highlights how fragile our existence truly is. The real threat isn't the sudden disappearance of water, it's the severe human-driven changes that are currently destabilizing our marine ecosystems and weather patterns. I'm talking about sea level rise from melting ice, harmful ocean warming, acidification from excess carbon, devastating plastic pollution, and severe overfishing. These things are happening right now, altering the very systems that make Earth habitable for us.
Every single drop of water connects to our climate, our food, and ultimately, our future. Which leaves us with this final, incredibly vital question to think about. Are we truly prepared, and are we doing enough to protect the interconnected water systems that make life on Earth possible? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope it changes the way you look at that vast blue expanse on our world map.